Thank you for attending today's in-service. You all know that today's in-service is a federal requirement that all employees of healthcare systems or school systems have to attend a yearly bloodborne pathogen in-service. And so I'm not happy to be here, you're not happy to be here, but we all are stuck here. So let's just go on forward. The federal law mandated that we have to provide this in-service and you have to attend every year. I try not to offer the same thing every year. I try to change off the topic a little bit because I know that it's as boring just equally for you as it is for me. But one of the things we want to go over is we want to go over the policy. And because we have really just a short amount of time today, I'm going to have to talk as quickly as possible so that we can get through all the material that we need to get through. One of the things you have to learn is OSD's policy on bloodborne pathogen. Everybody should have a copy of that. If you don't have a copy of it, it is on the X drive of the computer system or on the server. So you can access that, save a tree. Then when you look it up, you're going to notice that we have identified certain individuals according to your job description and where you fit in the bloodborne pathogen tree as far as what your job duties are. If you are a job that requires daily or it is expected part of your job to be in contact with bodily fluids, then you are on a certain category. That would include the nurses, for example, and therefore you are offered your hepatitis 3 series shots, which is one, and then 1 month later, and then 6 months later. If you've already had it or you want to know if you need to have it, you need to come see me. That's a whole nother lecture about the hepatitis shot in and of itself. The youth leaders, any job that's got first aid in it, any job that's got cleaning duties in it, because if you're a custodian and you have to clean up after blood, then you would be expected to be part of that of your job. Therefore, you are expected to be in this category that you need to have the more intensive in-service. All the other people, for example, the interpreters, the secretaries, the business office people that may not have daily contact with students, or it is not part of their job description, and actually teachers are not part of their job description to give first aid. They do not have to take the hepatitis shot. They do not have to take the full in-service. What we have is a post-exposure plan. The post-exposure plan is when you are exposed, someone throws up on you, you get in contact with blood. But remember, getting in contact with blood means you have some kind of open cut, and their blood or their body fluid gets into your open cut. If you have, just like I do, if somebody just threw up on me and I look at my arm, I have no cuts or anything like that, I'm fine, I'm not exposed. However, I do have a little boo-boo on this hand, and so if I got contact with blood there or somebody threw up on me and any other bodily fluids, so for example urine or anything else, got into here, then I would be exposed. It is their fluid getting inside of my body, my fluid, which would then put a health risk hazard to me. So that would be a post-exposure. You would then go to the nurse. You also have to stop to your supervisor and you have to fill out the proper forms, because remember, workman's comp will not pay for any injury if you have not filled out the proper forms and documented through your supervisor what happened, when it happened, the day that it happened, and all that jazz. So you have forms that you have to fill out, but when it does happen, do all that stuff, but you also need, within 24 hours, need to come see the nurse. The nurse will then assess your liability of whether you were exposed or not. She will offer the hepatitis series to you if you have not yet had it. Then she'll refer you to the emergency room or facility so that you could be tested, see where your status and your level is, if you were already exposed, if you already have hepatitis, HIV, whatever that is, and then you'll be tested again later. And so then therefore the determination would be assessed whether you were exposed to any kind of disease at the time that you were at school. And if you were at that incident, then if you filled out the proper forms, you did everything you're supposed to do, then workman's comp will pay for it. See you next year.